Alright everybody, I hope I'm audible right now. Just a minute, let me check that. And live as well. What is this? Okay, let's not worry about that. Just a sec. Alright then, let's just simply continue from here on. Hopefully I'm audible. And we are gonna be working on this project again. I just simply try to sort of refactor this, and hence things are a bit more organized right now. And we'll just simply continue from where we actually left. But before that, I just need to go through everything and check this thing out, because I took the help of AI as well to refactor this, and hence the code is still the same, the way it works, that's the same, but it is just a little bit well structured. That's the only thing. So going ahead, we have features, and inside that we have editor. Everything is inside this only, I mean editing related stuff. And we have canvas, properties, toolbar, zoom controllers. They are the part of the canvas itself. And if I'm not wrong, if I just simply click on this, so over here these are the hooks that we have. So coming back to this, we have use canvas interactions. It simply handles everything like related to interaction on the canvas. Then we have use text editing, that simply handles editing, adding text related stuff, saving text. Image upload, we can just simply upload the image using this. We have text editing, text editor resize, that simply means as you just keep writing the text inside the text editor, so the size of the text editor should be changing, and this can be useful at that point of time. We even have used canvas size, that simply resizes the canvas. So whenever we just simply sort of what we sort of change the width and height of the page, it the canvas automatically gets its width and height. So this particular use effect hook just simply handles that, and that is it. We have our normal canvas, and apart from this particular thing, we have text editor, we have image input. I should be naming it image input. So this is it. Lastly, we have zoom controller, that simply handles zoom related stuff. And let's see what all we can implement today. But before that, I have to just make sure that if I go to use canvas interactions, this particular hook over here, this is not needed. So over here, what is happening, just a minute, we have used drawing hook, we have used a selection interaction hook, we have used pen. So talking about use drawing, that is mainly gonna be used for, I mean, this particular hook will contain everything that belongs to drawing section. Then use selection interaction, this will contain everything that will be used when a particular shape is selected. Use pen, as the name suggests, will be used for panning, and that is it. These are the three things. And we will be panning, we will be selecting the any shape, and we will be, after selecting, what all we can do, after selecting that, we can move, we can resize, we can delete, and also all these things are gonna be there. And the drawing is already clear. And apart from this, someone's just simply knocking at the door, but okay, never mind. So this is all. And apart from this particular thing, this is a pointer handle pointer down, that simply means this is the pointer down event handler, and this is the pointer move event handler. So pointer down is pretty simple. Ultimately, we just clear everything. Once everything is cleared, we handle middle mouse pen, that simply means if you click the middle mouse, so as soon as you click the middle mouse, some points are gonna be sort of some state, I mean the state of some points is going to be saved, and those points are later going to be used for handle middle mouse event. So this will mainly save the points for the pen, yeah, that is right. And apart from this particular thing, this will select means what? Select means it will save the points for the select. So point down selection, so if I'm not wrong, what it does, handles the select and resize pointer down. So again, it saves the state. So whenever the pointer down event happens, at that time you just do nothing but just simply save the states of the points that are there, right? So even if I go to this one, so over here what are we doing? We are getting the save position, and after getting the save position we are just simply setting the selected shape. That's another case. Okay, there can be many things in this particular situation. Just a sec. Coming back to this, we have a few things here. As soon as we clicked the pointer down, we clear the things. That is pretty simple. Clearing in the sense there is no selected shape, there is no selected bounce and all. Going ahead, we have handle mouse pen that simply kind of sets the state, and especially states related to the pen, so that as soon as you click middle mouse, so we need to know the pen start, and we need to know the pen offset. So probably these are the things that are just being saved over there. So we are saving the mouse panning ref, of course, that's gonna be true. We have the mouse pen start x and y, and we have the offset over here. We are just simply destructuring the value. So this is it, and this thing is definitely inside I think it's in here itself, inside user canvas interactions. Okay, so this is just right here. We can even move it later because this is related to panning and all. So as this is related to panning, so we can move it inside the use pan hook, but we'll see if it is possible or not. So this particular thing is done. Apart from this particular thing, we have a start point that simply saves the state of the starting point. So sort of the point, the current start point should be the current point as well as the start point. So if I actually have a look over here, so it is just simply saving the is pointed down. If that becomes true, that is for sure. It gets the point. Once it gets the point, it is saving that as the start point, as the last point, and these points are later going to be used when the mouse actually moves. So that's pretty simple. So this particular thing is done as well, and I think this is not needed, so let's get rid of this. So going ahead, these two things are clear. Now route based tool, in the sense, first of all you save the states related to middle mouse, you save the state related to start point, and after that if the selected tool is pan, so at that time what will you be doing? You will be just simply panning. That simply means you will be moving the canvas here and there, and for that you need to have the state as well, and the state for the middle mouse and the pen and this pen are gonna be the same. That simply means you need a start pen coordinates, and you need the offset, the total pen offset that you had. So you have start pen coordinates over here, and start pen start mouse ref, pen start mouse ref, yeah, that's okay, that just simply makes sense. And then you have the pen start offset, so you have the mouse coordinates and you have the offset of that particular pen. So this particular thing is done. When it comes to selector, so whenever you just simply click, ultimately whenever you click on the screen for the first time, so you might be clicking on empty space. This is also possible. So you are gonna be clicking on empty space. The second thing is that you are gonna be clicking on you will be clicking on a shape, and the second thing is that you will be clicking on shapes boundings. There are three situations over here, boundings, right? So either you click on the empty, or you click on empty you click on the shape, or you click on shapes boundings. And in that case we have this on pointer down selection that just simply handles this. Not only this, if you click on empty, then of course you don't really need to worry about it, empty space. But if you click on a shape, you need to store the shapes boundings. Suppose you clicked on a shape, right? So if you clicked on a shape, then you need to know the selected shape you clicked on, and you need to know the shapes boundings or shapes bounds you need to know, and then you need to even save them. And I mean, these are the things that you ideally need to do. So let's see exactly those things are done here or not. So going ahead in this particular one, again, where is this? This mainly belongs to the first one that we had over here. There is handle middle mouse pen, that was just right here, and this initialize pointer state, even this is right here. But this particular thing, on pointer down selection, so this is selection related method that is being called over here. So this is going to be inside this particular we had a use selection interaction. So this is the interaction after the selection, right? You can select a few things and then you can get the job done. That is why it's just simply going there. And if I just simply click, and let's see how many things are actually getting done here. So especially in this particular hook, use selection interaction hook, what all we have update resize cursor, You can only resize when that is selected. That is why this is here. So once something gets selected, what all you can do, so you can resize the cursor, update resize cursor, in the sense the UI that you get of the cursor, that keeps changing. Then we have on pointer down selection. So again, when you are selecting something that belongs to this only, then on pointer move selection, when after selecting you are moving, that also belongs to this particular section. So after selecting, what is done, after selecting, probably you are updating the cursor size, you are updating the cursor type, and even it is you updated beforehand as well. And then you might be selecting that too. So you might be just selecting the shape and all, and you might be moving the shape. So these things we have here. Coming back to this, on pointer down selection was selected over here. So we are first of all getting the shape. So ultimately what all we were supposed to be doing, get the shape, then shapes bounds, after that save them, and probably save some states. So save states and all, this is the main goal. So coming back to this thing, we have the shape, we are checking whether at that point there is a shape or not. After that, if there is no shape, we are just simply returning from here, because of course if we are clicking on empty space, we don't need to worry about anything. Only when we click on a shape, we need to just get the shape, then bounce, and then save that, and if needed, save some states related to that. Okay, so this is what we have to do. So going ahead, we got the shape. If the shape does exist, we just simply continue from here. So once we got the shape at that particular position, we even got the bounds of the shape. Once we got both of them, that is it. There could be one more thing, that is once you clicked, the shape type can be actually free draw. So suppose if you are clicking normal shape, that's gonna be selected, but if you click on free draw, so at that time you even need to save some some states related to that. So what is need to be done? So this is pretty simple, that you clicked, you got a shape. As you got a shape, you got the bounce and set the selected shape. After that, once the shape is actually selected, you need to save the states as well. So suppose if that is a rectangle that you got, so you don't really need to worry about it. But if that is a free draw in the sense is the type is free draw, and if that kind of shape is actually selected, so shape as position, the shape that you selected, if the type is actually free draw, that simply means that is nothing but a pencil. So at that time, what actually happens, that this free draw line or arrow, they have points in them, right? So and those points are relative distances from x and y, they are the starting point. So we have to convert those relative distances into uh, absolute points. This is the first thing. Apart from this particular thing, we have to just save those absolute points, so that they can be used later whenever we are moving. So let's check this thing out, exactly what's happening over here. So if that is equals to free draw, so what exactly we are doing over here, that if we clicked on a drawing that we made using free draw, so we'll get the points. Those points are what are those points? They are the relative distances. That is why we are simply converting them into the absolute points, and that absolute point is being saved, as simple as that, so that it can be used later. And if you are actually clicking on the line, so lines, they do have points, but aren't we doing that here? Okay, we are getting it done here. So it doesn't matter which thing you talk about, either you talk about free draw or you talk about line, the same thing will happen, because though they have points, so as soon as you select that particular shape, those points need to be converted into the real absolute points, and then you need to save that, so that they can actually be used later. So this is the first thing. And the another thing is that as you are clicking, suppose you clicked, right? As you clicked, you got the shape. As you got the shape, you got the bounce. You calculated the bounce, and then you saved both of them. There could be second possibility, that when you clicked, at that time, the shape was already selected, right? So you clicked again on that particular shape. So at that time, there could also be possibility that you clicking over the bounce. So when you click over the bounce, and when you click over the bounce, you get the resize handle, right? So suppose first of all you clicked, then you got the shape and you got the bounce, and once you got them, you just simply save them. Then you need to if you want to resize that, so you need to click again, and when you are clicking, so of course you will click on the bounce. As you are clicking on the bounce, you will get the resize handle. If you get the resize handle, that simply means now you are actually going to resize that particular shape. So of course you will be resizing, and this resize handle needs to be saved. So ultimately, if you have the resize handle, that simply means you are gonna resize as you move, so this needs to be saved as well. And apart from this particular thing, the next can be that you are clicking on a shape that is being drawn using free draw. So what will happen over here, that if that has actually been drawn using free draw, so at the time free draw has points, they are the relative, so you need to make them absolute. Same thing needs to be done with the lines and as well as arrow. So this particular thing needs to be done. So let's see how many things we are getting done over here. First of all, we are getting the shape. Once we got the shape, we set the selected shape in the bounce. After that, we got absolute points for the free draw, and over here we are getting absolute points for line or the arrow. The only thing is that, why do I have it here? Why can't I have it just in here? Won't it be good? Because if that is equals to free draw, so we are just simply sort of saving the absolute points. If that is equals to line or the arrow, we are getting the relational points, so they can be start relative distance or start rel, that's even fine. And once we have them, we are getting the absolute points. Once we got the absolute points, after that we are just simply setting them as well. So this should be pretty much simple. And then we have resize handle. One thing that is here, should we keep this resize handle at the top? What does this resize handle does actually, that as soon as you click on bounce, so it just simply tries to get the bounce. So as soon as you click, you already have the selected shape in the bounce, so as soon as you click, it will check whether you clicked already bound or not. So coming back to this, you gave it you give this a point, the shape at position, so whichever shape you selected on, so the selected shape, you give the point, you give the bounce and the scale, and on the basis of that thing, it just simply check whether you clicked on a bound or not. And if you actually click, you can even check this thing out as to what you do. If there is no bound, of course it's going to be returned. And if that selected shape was already selected, just a minute, selected shape dot line or arrow, in that case you are gonna be checking whether that is on that particular segment or not. Ultimately the shape is already selected, as simple as that. Now if that is selected shape is line and arrow, so you will be checking that where you are actually clicking, that is get a segment handle. That doesn't make sense, just a sec. Okay, anyway, let's just simply keep it on pause for now. Ultimately, get resize handle, what it does, that it just simply gets that particular resize handle. If you get the resize handle, and if it does not exist, of course, then you are not resizing, and if you get that, you are actually resizing. So you are resizing, you have the resize handle, you have the bounce, you are just simply saving everything, and this is how it will be done. Now the only thing is that that is this particular thing here, that when it comes to get resize handle at a point, so ultimately you send the point, you send the selected shape, and even the bounce of that, and then you check. Scale is of course compulsory, and then you check whether you are clicking on a bound or not. If this does not exist, no need to worry about. But if that is a line or an arrow, so what will happen, they can be directly get a segment handle. Get segment handle in the sense, as you click on the corners of a line, if you actually clicked on that, so it will return you that particular handle, otherwise it will not. So you are passing the point, selected shape and scale. And over here what you are doing, over here you are first of all checking that the points that you got, start relative point and all. So I can just simply name them start rel, that's even fine, not really a big problem. They are the relative points at the end of the day. And then we have end relative points, something like this. So you got these. If they do not exist, of course you will be returning from here, but if they do exist, then you got the absolute points from here. So you just simply converted them into absolute points, and even you got the middle point, then you got these handles, the start, the middle and the end, and on these points you have to check whether you are actually clicking or not. So you will be simply looping through it. You will be checking is point in circles, so sort of you will be creating imaginary circle on these points, and you are going to be checking whether that is actually in the circle or not. If that is, it will return what if that is, then it will return either start or middle or end, or it's going to be returning null. So this is how it just simply goes on. So get segment handle just simply tells whether you clicked on start of the line, end of the line, middle of the line, or you didn't click anywhere. It's just simply like that. Same thing for this as well, but when it comes to shapes without points, so at that time what exactly happens, that you need bounds for that. And once you have minimum, if you have any shape, of course you can get the bounds of that particular shape. Once you get the bounds of that particular shape, then you can just simply check that whether you are actually clicking on the bounds. So get corner handle. So ultimately there are two types of bounds. So first of all, the corner bounds, and like the left, top, and all something like this. And apart from this particular thing, we have top, bottom, left and right, and the whole calculation is just being done over here, and you just simply get which particular bound you clicked on. It just makes sense, right? So get resize handle at point, it just simply gives you the resize handle where you actually click on. That is the pretty simple thing. So coming back to this, what we actually did, as soon as the pointer down happened, so of course the shape got selected. After that, if that is a free draw or a line, so we converted them into absolute points so that later we can use them. And we even checked that, okay, if the shape is already selected and now if we are clicking at that time, that particular shape is actually where it's being clicked, are we actually getting any resize handle or not? Because if we are clicking in the middle, we will not get any resize handle, but if we click on the corners or the corner points or the edges, at that time we are gonna be getting the resize handle. Hence we'll check that if we are getting that or not. If we are getting that, we'll set that, okay, now we are gonna be resizing, otherwise of course we are not gonna be resizing. So this is what this on pointer down selection does. Coming back to this, we have this pretty simple thing, that as soon as we clicked the point, we cleared everything, and after that we checked whether I actually clicked the middle mouse button or not. If I actually clicked, then I'm gonna be saving the state so that we can start panning and all. And apart from this particular thing, in this particular section we are setting initial pointer state like start and start point mainly, and last point. Panning, we'll have the panning related shape saved. Ultimately we are saving the state as soon as we click. When it comes to select, at that time many things are done, many things in the sense, you may select a shape. After selecting a shape, you are gonna be getting the bounds and you are gonna be saving that. This is the first thing. The second thing is that the shape is already selected, now you are gonna be getting the resize handle and you are gonna be getting the job done. And the third thing is that when you clicked on a shape, selected shape that is actually free draw type or line type, or that is arrow type, in that case you are going to be converting them into the into absolute points. So this is how it's just simply done, and this particular section is done as well. When it comes to select, so if the type is actually select and you are actually clicking, so set editing state, you will have the starting editing state in the sense, as soon as you clicked on the canvas, so you will have the start point. Let me just simply get rid of this. You will have the start point, you will have the end point, and at that time the value of the text is gonna be null, and of course you are returning from here. And lastly we have this states for drawing tools with points. Pretty simple. What you did, you clicked, as soon as you clicked, saved pan related state, saved select related state as select related state, as well as bounds and the resize handle. It just simply handles everything. Text saves text related states, and this start point and handle mouse point, they just simply do their job, right? Lastly we have this states for drawing tools with points. What does this mean? This simply means that you have saved the state for what? We have saved the state in the select for all. If the when it comes to select, that just simply handle select, right? So as you are clicking, so what is actually happening, that what if the type is actually arrow, or the type is actually line, or the type is actually pencil, or ultimately that is called a free draw. So you need to save the state for them as well. The first initialize pointer state for sort of rectangles, circles and all these things, that is sort of rectangular, and that can be drawn using a rectangular way, but the lines and all, we don't draw them using a rectangle and all, we just simply draw them directly. So we need to save the state for them as well, and that's what it is doing over here. So if I just simply get rid of this, so if you actually have a look at on pointer down drawing over here, so which hook is this from? This is from use drawing. If you actually have a look over here, then this initialize, not this initialize, this on pointer down selection was from use selection interaction hook, because it was getting the jobs done after selecting a shape. So it may select a shape and then it may resize that and all, and but this particular thing states for drawing tools with points. So let's see exactly what it is. First of all, from where it is, from use drawing, and what exactly we are doing here in this particular one, we'll have a look. So we have, which one is this? On pointer down, right? So on pointer not up drawing, we have on pointer not move drawing, we have on pointer down drawing. And what we are doing, we are getting the canvas, we are setting the state. So again, this is doing nothing but setting the state. So the way we set the state for pen here, the way we set the state for text here, the way we set the state for any other shape like rectangles or ellipses or diamonds and all, the same way over here states for drawing tools with points. So ultimately set, it would be better to name it, set states for drawing tools with points. So we are going to be setting the states here as well. What is the special case with the points? They need to have x, they need to have y, and they need to have the points, and they need to be relative points, relative distance point, right? And that is why we need to save it, so that whenever we start moving, we are able to actually draw, or we are able to resize in the if needed. So resize actually happens after select. We have already covered that particular section over here. This is mainly for saving the states on pointer down, so that after that we can draw them. But one thing, as we click so on pointer down drawing, so drawing should cover everything. On pointer down drawing, we are just simply using this particular drawing. So this one is using drawing hook, and this one is using selection hook. It used a selection. Just a minute, give me a minute, I'll be back. Alright everybody, welcome back. So we were somewhere here that if that is a select, at the end of the day, if the tool is select, then of course the particular method will be coming from the selection hook. In the remaining cases, if we are having any method, that should belong to the drawing. In drawing on pointer down, because at the end of the day we are drawing, right? So the main reason behind keeping this particular method in the selection use selection hook, mainly because the type was the select, and after selecting we were getting the things done. But in this particular case, all the remaining things, they are gonna be going to the drawing, mainly because whenever we click down or up or move, at the end of the day we are just simply drawing, right? So if I actually show you this particular use drawing hook, So it contains get canvas points, that's simple. It contains on pointer down drawing, on pointer move drawing, and on pointer up drawing, and it is just simply returning ball. So this particular hook is mainly responsible for what? It is mainly responsible for uh, drawing. So anything you are doing related to drawing, that's simply gonna be part of this particular hook. And apart from this particular thing, if I mainly gonna talk about selection over here, use selection interaction. So it just simply handles the selection related stuff. So selection related stuff in the sense on pointer down selection. So whenever you click, so how you are selecting on pointer down, and what kind of things you are doing, and on pointer move selection, because at the end of the day, when it comes to selection, so you may, of course, you may do some things on down and you may do some things on move, right? So when moving you may resize the things and all, so ultimately that thing is gonna be handled over here. So this is how it is just simply categorized. And honestly, I actually took the help of AI in this, because initially I wrote the code that was well written, well working well, but at the end of the day things were not that well structured. So I took the help of AI and just simply structured it better, and this is perfectly fine the way I wanted it to be. So pretty simple. Use drawing, everything related to drawing. Use selection, everything related to selection. So after selection, what do you do? After selection, you resize, you move, you set the state, right, on point down. So everything will be here. Pen, it just will have everything related to the penning. So we have gone through all these sections over here. First one, clear. Second one, handle the states, save the states related to middle mouse pen or middle mouse. Then save the state for the normal shapes like starting point and all. Then save the state for the pen, save the state for the text, save the state for the shapes with the points. And this select does many things in the sense, first of all, select means you are gonna be selecting a shape. So save the state for the shapes, bound shapes. Then after that you may even click on the corner of the state, so that's selected state. So you will have to save the resize handle as well. And apart from all these things, when you click on a shape, ultimately if you click on free draw or the line or point shape, you need to just simply save the states for them. So ultimately all these things from top to bottom, when pointer down happens, we are doing nothing but saving the states only, so that as on pointer down we save the states, so that when we start moving the mouse, at that time we have the states, initial states, to just simply do the calculation, right? So on point down you sort of get the states, and while pointer moving you get the starting states, and then do the calculation. Let's go ahead and move to the second one, and that is nothing but the handle pointer move. So okay, as we start moving, we are checking what? We are checking if the selected tool is pen, or if the pointer is actually down. Pretty simple. So if the selected tool is pen and the pointer is down, that means we are moving, we are panning the screen. Panning means moving the screen here and there. Or the second thing is that, is middle mouse panning. So there are two ways. You can click the middle mouse and move the screen here and there, and you can actually click the pan tool and move the mouse here and there. In both the cases we have to call this, as simple as that, we have to call handle pan mouse. This comes from where? This mainly comes from use pan hook. So in this particular case, this is the just a minute, use selection interaction. This is the this comes from use pen. And if I actually go to use pen, we have this simple method that is doing a function that is doing nothing but just simply adding the extra distance that we are moving here and there. So suppose we had the starting point, right? So we had the start offset, we had the start mouse points as well. And now as we moved, so moving in the sense getting the current client X and client Y, so getting the current coordinates, and in that particular coordinates I'm even adding the offset, start offset and start Y offset, starting and this start offset is nothing but the pan offset. So there could be a case like the pan was here, we are moving it, so we are calculating the pan. But what if the some pan was already added there? So we are just simply adding the pan, that particular pan as well. Now pan can be positive, pan can be negative as well. So if the pan is negative value, it will automatically be subtracted. But ultimately we have the things like this. So this just simply handles the pan. So let's get rid of this. Coming back to this one, user interaction. So first of all we handle the panning related stuff. Once that is done, let me get rid of this as well as this. I don't think this is needed, and hover, no pointer down, this is also not needed, so let's get rid of this. So what am I actually gonna do here? After that we are getting the end point, and you should know that we are actually moving the mouse right now. So as you are moving the mouse, there could be chance that as you are moving mouse, at that time what all can happen? Many things can happen. First of all, you are actually moving a shape, or second, you are actually resizing a shape. Second, you are actually drawing a shape, right? So these three things can actually happen. Or you are actually panning. So panning section is already covered over here, so let's just simply remove it from here. Now when you move your mouse or cursor, so either you are at that time you will be moving the shape, or you are gonna be resizing the shape, or you are gonna be drawing the shape. So what are we doing here? First of all, we are getting the end point in the sense where my mouse currently is. As I got my end point, I'm gonna be getting the delta. What is delta? Delta is nothing but the distance between my last point and the end point. So we just got the delta. Update last pointer for the delta calculation. So this is gonna be definitely updating that as well. So here it just simply makes the last point as the end point. So end, as the calculation is done, last point will automatically will become the end point. So that thing is done as well. So okay, we got the distance. After that, what are we gonna be doing? That is something gonna be great. So everything related to moving and resizing will go in this particular section. So what am I doing? If the selected tool is select, in that case check whether you have actually handled that or not. If once that gets done, just simply return and the job is done. Okay, this particular thing is done. What does this handle anyway? On pointer move selection. So first of all, it is from the selection hook, and what it does actually, selection hook is mainly responsible for doing something that is done after selecting a shape. So what you do after selecting a shape? You either move or you resize. So these two things are actually gonna be handled in this particular method, and that is again coming from the selection. That's another case, but this is how it is handled. And just after that we have nothing but default drawing preview. So you are gonna be drawing. So on pointer drawing move, you are gonna be, what am I doing here and why am I doing? Again, I didn't do this, rather AI did this. So it added some extra things that are not even needed. So default drawing preview, pretty simple. We do two things mainly. Three things. We draw, we resize and reshape. We ultimately select, and after select we move or resize. And the third thing is that we pan. So panning related thing is done at the top, so no need to worry about this. After selecting and resizing, that particular thing is done inside this particular select box, select conditional, so we don't need to worry about it. Lastly, drawing is remaining, so drawing is just simply getting handled over here, and pretty simple thing. So yeah, now the question is, okay, you understood this pretty fine. How are you actually handling move selection? Like after selecting, what exactly you are doing? So after selecting, there can be a few things. Suppose I selected a shape. Shape is already selected. Once the shape is already selected, so that simply means before that I clicked on the shape, means I have the starting point for that particular shape, and I have the selected shape, I have the bounds, all these things are already saved. And now as I start moving, so whenever you move on a selected shape, now you move, whether you move on a selected shape, it is just simply telling you the tool. That simply means it doesn't mean that it is only applied on selected shape. It can be applied on any shape. So whenever you move, it's not about selected shape right now. It is all about moving. You are moving your mouse, and when you move your mouse, so again that's being covered from the selection. But at the end of the day, it is actually just a sec, because when you move your mouse, got it? When you move your mouse or the pointer, cursor, anything, at that time you may be moving it on empty screen. So this selection pointer move, this hand needs to handle that edge case as well. So you may be moving it on empty screen, you may be moving it on a shape, and you may be moving it on a shape's bounds, and yeah, these are the only things. So first of all, and lastly, you may be resizing it or you may actually be moving it. So if the pointer is actually down, so of course you are gonna be resizing or moving. If the pointer is not down, either you are moving it just simply on empty shape or a shape's bounce. So in this particular situation, when the pointer is actually up but you are moving the mouse, so we need to change the type of the mouse, like the style of the mouse on as per the condition. And if the point is actually down, we are just simply handling this particular part. So just let me do one thing, let me see exactly what all it is doing here. So let me cut it, and if I go to this one, of course in this particular method here, and what all it should handle, it should handle drag or drag, resize handles, drag or move, resize, and after that what all it needs to handle. So drag and resize is handled here, cursor type, and that is it. That's the only thing that needs to be done, right? So it needs to do these three things. Cursor type. So whenever you move your mouse on the screen, so if the pointer is actually down, so over here first of all you are checking that okay, you have the selected shape already and the pointer is even down. When the selected shape is there, pointer is down, then if resizing ref is true, that simply means you are resizing. If moving is true, that simply means you are moving. How will you know if that is resizing or not? So when you click on the corner of the shape, and as soon as you click, this is resizing ref automatically becomes true. So if that is the case, you are gonna be resizing it. If that's not the case, that simply means you are gonna be moving it. As long as you are clicking on the shape, either you will resize, either you are gonna resize, or you will just simply move the shape. I mean, something or the other needs to be done. And if the pointer is not down, that simply means you are normally moving the shape. So at that time, if the pointer is not down, you need to change the cursor type. Changing the cursor type depends on two things: whether the shape is already selected or the shape is not selected. So you will check whether the shape is actually hovered or not. Okay, and so ultimately you will get a shape, and once you get the shape, that simply means okay, there is a shape that exists, and on the basis of that thing you are gonna be changing the sort of you are gonna be changing the style of the cursor. So update resize cursor, so the resize cursor that's gonna be updated, and it is happening when you are actually hovering over the selected shape. So suppose you have a shape but the pointer is not down. If you had a shape, if the pointer was down, you would either move or resize. If you have a shape where you actually clicked it, so the point where you clicked, there is a shape on that particular point, so you will be just simply changing. So when you are moving, you will be changing what? You will be changing the cursor type. And if you are just simply clicking outside, moving outside the cursor, outside the shape, so at that time you will just simply set it to default, as simple as that. And if you actually have a look over here, so suppose this is the shape. So now what is happening, I am just simply hovering outside, nothing as such, but as soon as I hover on the shape, the type of the cursor changes. Why it happens? It happens mainly because of this, that if I am hovering, even if the mouse is not clicked, in that case what will happen? If the shape exists, I am gonna be updating it, and if the shape does not exist, like here, so it's gonna be just a default cursor over here. That is what we are doing, and that is it. And if we actually we are on the shape, because as soon as we are on the shape, the cursor type changes. So right now we are on the shape, right? So as soon as we are on the shape, that simply means if I just simply click, there's gonna be a selected shape, and pointer is down. So right now, sort of, there is no selected shape, so we actually need to select it. Right now the shape is selected, so this is the situation where the shape is selected as well as pointer is not down. So as the pointer is not down, so of course this particular logic will run. But if I just simply click the pointer, so either I will resize or I'll move. So if I click in the middle, so of course this is gonna be moving, because is resizing ref is not true. Is resizing ref will be true only when we click at the corner. So if I click at the corner from anywhere, so now is resizing is true. So instead of moving, it will actually get resized. So this is how it just simply goes on, and this is how the logic actually plays the role. Okay, I try to even keep the comments because I know in future it's gonna be hard for me to understand my own code. It happened the last time I built this, and then I had to go through each and everything, testing and all, whether okay this is how it works and all. And this time, that is why first of all I formatted it, and second thing, of course, it is well commented. So we have gone through these two things, pretty simple. And here we are handling. Okay, so this is till this point what are we doing? We are just simply handling everything related to move selection. So after selecting, what all we do, and in this particular case we are actually gonna draw. So drawing related things are actually gonna be handled over here. So handles drawing during mouse move. Here we are. So when it comes to, and again this comes from the drawing section. So first of all we had this on pointer down drawing. What it does, on pointer down drawing, as simple as that. This is just simply used for saving the states. So, and when it comes to saving the states, so it handles mainly the states for line, free draw and all. So it just simply handles the states for the shapes with the points. Even we can customize it for all types of shapes later, but as for right now, that's fine. Sets initial points on pointer down for shapes with points, just like this. Going ahead, this is already clear. It just simply handles down. So when it comes to handles mouse move, that simply means starting to drawing. Starting to draw. At that time, of course, we need to check whether we have the context or not. That's pretty simple one. We will get the start value. Once we have the start value, we will get the end value. Once we have the end value, we have the starting coordinates as well as we have the ending coordinates. Starting coordinates is the last coordinate that was saved, or that's what you can just simply call that. And going ahead, what we are actually doing, starting coordinates means as soon as you clicked somewhere, that became the starting coordinates. Ending coordinates means, of course, you must have the, just a minute, what is this unnecessary thing? Okay, this is fine. So ending coordinates means the mouse, the point where your present cursor is. And then we have the relative points, that's in the form of tuple. So I think this needs to be here. So end x minus start x and y minus start y, that will just simply give me the relative points, because as we are drawing, we need to have the relative points too. And these relative points are mainly going to be used when we are drawing a pencil and all, or pencil or free draw, arrow or line. At that time we need these relative points. Going ahead, what are we doing? First of all, drawing points ref, update drawing points. So we should have this update drawing points just right here. What it is doing here, that drawing points ref dot current, these are going to be the drawing points. And update drawing points in the sense, it just simply needs tool, selected tool, relative point and the current points. So I'm just simply passing all the current points. What it does, we have drawing points ref, current ref. So as we move, all the points related to drawing, they just simply get saved here, right? So this particular function is mainly used for what? This function is mainly used for saving the state. So it is coming from where? First of all, it is coming from these shapes, and this is mainly for update shape. So what it does, based on free draw, based on line and based on arrow, it just simply saves the state of the points in the, and why this actually needs to be saved, so that whenever the mouse up happens, you are actually able to reuse these points and save it. That is fine. And then render preview shape, this is the important part, that you'll be passing the text, selected tool, start point, end point, points if they exist, shapes, scales, shapes are in the sense current shapes, scale, span, offset, scale, offset, all these things. And once you say, and the last point, of course, it is going to be changed. Once you actually just simply send all this information to what? You just simply send all this information to render preview shape. It is just simply gonna render that with the help of the info that you give it. The important thing is here, that is as you move, okay, so you are saving the drawing points. This is the first thing. And the second thing is that you are saving the value of the this last point current ref, that's gonna be end. So you have this last pointer ref, and over here you had the start point. So as you are moving, you are just simply subtracting it by start. Why start point ref, this is where it actually started. So when it comes to relative points, so they are gonna be related to the starting points. That is fine, and that is why we have this. But we have this last pointer end. So suppose I am drawing a rectangle, right? So once I'm actually drawing a rectangle, as soon as I clicked, I got the starting points and all, and as I moved, I got the ending point. And once I have the start point, I have the end point, and meanwhile it's just simply getting rendered. Once I reach the last one, at that time we already have the points, the starting and the last. On the basis of that thing, we can just simply save it. If that is so that's gonna be false if that button's up event gets triggered. And in the remaining case, we are just simply setting everything to null, because the mouse up actually happened. And finish resize if any, so pointed off is resizing current. In that case, that's gonna be false as well. And the important thing actually comes here. We have to save the states. Reset tool for certain tools, so if that is not equals to pen and free draw, we are going to be setting to selector. And lastly, this is the important step over here. What does this do? On pointer drawing up, it is mainly used for saving the state. So if I actually have a look at this will be mainly responsible for saving the info of the new shape. So you have the start, you have the end. Ultimately you get these values, because start was already saved and is the last value, last point that you get. Okay, once that is done, you are going to be creating a shape. So you have the tool, start point, end point, and even you have the points that were mentioned. And what you did, you just simply created a shape. You just simply push the shape in the shapes array, and you just simply reset everything, and the job got done. So this is used for saves the shapes at the end. And I can have this over here, saves the shapes. That is it. So on pointer down, you get all the information related to the point. You save them in the state. On pointer move, you keep gathering the end point, and meanwhile, using the data that you have, you keep rendering the preview data as well, so that you see something on the screen. And on pointer up, what you are doing, you are actually getting all the data that you collected, and you just simply saving that, so that next time onwards, using that data, you can just simply redraw everything. And that is it. The job is done. And these are the DOM pointer event handlers, and this is the important part. Here we are. 1 2 Okay, so this is it that that actually happens, and we have all the comments over here, and everything is getting done. Let's see what's being used and what is not. Use canvas context. Are we using this? No. What does this do? Use this. I think it is being used. Use canvas context. So this just simply has a use effect that is just simply running whenever the canvas changes. Then it is sort of setting the value of the context. And apart from this particular thing, it has another one that whenever these values changes, it just simply runs it. Now I'm not sure whether I'm using it or not, so to check it, I'm just simply gonna be replacing it with this and see this is actually being used inside. Oh, I didn't focus this. I mean, check this thing well initially, but this is a hook getting used here. Anyway, let's just simply keep it here. So this is also a use context tool. That's fine. This is just simply being used over here. Makes sense. So this one is being used. Use canvas. Use canvas context just simply handles everything related to the canvas, and even it handles the things related to what rendering. So whenever something changes, it just simply renders that shape again. That simply means whenever I'm saving something, uh, yeah, whenever something is pushed, it just simply handles the rendering automatically. Ultimately, whenever any one of these values changes, and returns the context. Handles rendering of shapes and handles creating context creation. Handles context creation. Okay, so this particular thing is done. It just simply export it from here. So this thing, drawing handles everything. What? Use a canvas drawing. Are we using this, or this is just here? Yeah, it's not really being used. So let's just simply delete that. Canvas interaction, this is definitely being used, and we have all the needed comments for it. Yeah, that's right. Canvas size, it just simply handles the size of the canvas. The question is it being used? It turns out it is not, because for the canvas size we handled it where we handled it somewhere. I don't know where I handled it, but this definitely got handled. Having said that, it's not even being used, so let's get rid of that. uh, so let's just simply, no, probably I have mistaken it. So I need to actually come here, use canvas drawing, canvas resize. The thing is that if it is actually being used, similarly this is use canvas drawing. I just used it here, and then canvas resize. So use a canvas resize. uh so use canvas size comes from use canvas. That is why I was unable to get it. Now if I make a use canvas resize search here, I get it. This is where it's being used. Fine. So drawing is not really being used, so I can delete this. How long has it been? Alrighty, around 59. Give me a second, a minute, I'll be right back. Alright everybody, let's simply continue. So yeah, we were somewhere here, and what was I talking about? I was just simply removing the unnecessary things, right? So this canvas resize is definitely being used here. Going ahead, we have canvas interaction being used, canvas resize being used, canvas selection not being used. So in that case, I'll just simply delete everything from here. So we have this, we have used drawing, this is definitely being used, image upload definitely being used, and yeah, that's done. We have used pen definitely being used, handles penning related stuff. We have used pointer state, a really important thing here. Okay, let them be formatted this way only, so that at least things are well visible. What else? And then selection interaction, this is also used. Use shape move.ts. So not sure if this is being used, because moving related logic is actually being used, covered in the selection section. So where is this being used? Use the shape move. So use the shape move, that's actually being used inside selection itself. So though selection does everything related to, like, handles everything after selection, but on top of that it is using the use shape move and use resize. They were created by me, so okay, happy for that as well. Okay, so use move shape resize. Here we have use shapes, does not really have anything because we are managing the state somewhere else. Use text editing, that is simply handles everything related to text, and text editor resize, that simply handles the resizing of the text editor, and the job is done. These are the hooks. When it comes to heat testing, so we have geometry, and I think should I make the geometry the part of utilities? We have it simply covers everything related to geometry, so even we have the polygon, we can use it later on for other shapes and all. We have bounding box, point in circle, what is this? Eh? This is altogether a function, get bounding box. It has some internal functions and the switch statements in the return. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that does the job. Hit test. We'll see if we can actually keep it inside whether we should just let it be here or just keep it somewhere else. So this is done. Draw, just simply draws everything. So render the shapes, draw the text, draw the selection bounds, rectangle, line selection, image, free draw, ellipse, diamond, arrow, canvas. So this is done. Constants, we have some constants over here that are used, and text editor, we have text area here that just simply does the job, and components, constants or geometry, pen canvas.ts does not really do anything. Let's get rid of this. We have resize. This is interesting. Is this being used? Resize free draw shapes. Yep. So it is using a side redraw dot. Use shape resize. So shape resize actually uses this one. So probably somewhere here. We'll go through this exactly how it's done. Resizing related stuff whenever it's needed. But it's 234 number of lines. So this is how things are actually getting resized. We'll go through each and every time. This is not the right time, but definitely we'll go through it. Don't worry. Exactly how things are getting done. Text editing is here. That's fine. Resize, selection, clear selection. We had it here. we can just simply call it anywhere, right? Yeah. Let it be here, we may be using it. Selection folder, clear selection. We have cursor manager, we have move shape, there's nothing. As for this clear selection, I'd rather keep it so if I actually need to keep it, so this is where it is, so I can just keep it somewhere here. So at the end of the day I can get rid of this, and I can get rid of this too, and this is just simply clears the selection. Just like this. Once I have it here, so instead of that is it, done. Okay, that's fine. Let's continue. So this particular thing is done, so now I can delete this entire folder. Shapes, we have create image shape, that's used for image. Create shape, we have render preview shapes, we have, and update shape we have. This is mainly updated update drawing points. Okay, that's fine. Store, we have the store. There's only one issue, that is what I think is here, that is this, that we have all the store in here itself. Probably in future we are gonna be creating small type stores, but as for right now that's fine. Extra type selectors, even we have these many selectors. That sort of is good thing as well, that we have everything together, and there are not many. But if there were like 1500 lines of states, then of course we would have to create separate ones. 500, not 1500. And then we have tools, eraser tool, pen tool, selector tool, text tool. Delete this, we'll see how we handle this. Types and utilities. These are the utilities. We have normal rect, image loader, grid, text dimensions, get size, get image dimensions, get this, delete this, get absolute points, canvas centers, get canvas centers returns me that, that's fine. Get coordinates, get a canvas to screen coordinates, and it has get a screen to canvas coordinates. I'm not canvas center, coordinates, image dimensions, get size. Okay, all of them are being used actually, so no need to delete. And done, everybody. Never expected. You know what actually happened yesterday, if you have any idea. Anyway, yesterday while refactoring it, I just simply spoiled everything. Then I had to fix that. So throughout the day yesterday, I just kept struggling with the just refactoring stuff, and then at the end I had to take the help of AI, of course. But before even refactoring again, at that time, if I say get log, so I had a log, not this one. Get branch. So we had two branches here. We have the main branch where my old code is, and I have this my refactor code. So this is the new code that I have. So what I will be doing right now, just simply going to merge both together, and hopefully everything's working fine. First of all, let's see. This is it. It turns out that and this one dev. If everything works well, I'm just simply gonna merge it to the main branch. After that, I will create one more branch, and of course after deleting it probably, yeah, of course it's better to delete. And after that, in that particular branch, I'm gonna be adding more features. So probably the name of the branch is gonna be features or more features. So this is done. We're able to just simply get these things done. First is done. We are able to move here and there, zoom in, zoom out, this. So yeah, it is sort of working. Let's take care of the what is the problem with the state. Okay, sort of it is good. Second one is this, and of course in the future we are gonna be adding many more shapes as well. So it's not like these are the only ones, but we are just simply checking whether this actually works or not. Done anyway. We even haven't added the deletion option, so we are gonna be working on that soon, but overall fine. Let's just simply keep them aside. We have this arrow, I think 30%. Let me come back to 100. Okay, this is not working. So we have to add this reset zoom functionality, but we can do that anytime, not a big problem. This thing is done too. Let me come back to 100. Yeah, this much is fine. Yeah, that does the job. Okay, let's keep it aside. As for the text, even we have to add more functionality, but we are unable to resize the text, so that is even something we have to work on. But as for right now, this is pretty much fine. As for the image, this is the image that we have got. We can just simply resize it the way we want, and yep, we can keep the things, and we can at the end of the day reload the page and everything will be gone. So so far so good, everything seems to be working. The only thing is that it is telling me that window.inner height, it does not exist. I know why it is saying that, so let's not worry about that. So I'm just simply gonna be merging. So git check out main, git check out effect. Fixed, or it should be even refactored. So how to rename a log? How to rename a log? In Git. If you want to fix a restructured the code well. So there is restructured code well. That's what I actually wanted, or refactored. It's time to merge both. Should I merge it? Let me create one more branch from here for now, so that I have this code as well, because this is working too. Unstructured code. So git check out unstructured code. I think I'd better name the branches as well, probably, so that I can have a look at them later. So unstructured code 01 is gonna be the first one. Check out -d unstructured code 01. Okay, that's fine. So git branch. So I have this unstructured code 01, and I can even rename a branch, that is for sure. So git checkout refactor git branch, and the name is gonna be what unstructured code 01 we have. This is gonna be structured code 02. Is structured code 02. These are the branches that I'm sort of trying to create, so that I know which thing happened first and then the second, and the code is gonna be working in all of them. So structured code 02. So we have unstructured code 01, we have structured code 02, and we have the main branch. In the main branch, we will just simply merge the structured code right now. That's the only thing I'm gonna do. Check out the main and git merge structured code 02. That is it. Everything's merged in here. Now I have used context, use inflections and all these things. The git branch, I have these 3 branches. Git check out unstructured code 01. So in here I'll get these files. All the code is unstructured, but it is working, because if I run one dev, this is working as well. So it is in the working status. So we are actually able to sort of draw everything. So this is working. And even there is one thing, if you reload the page, you see that you get the canvas only here, because we are not setting the width and height directly in the code. So the use state sets that is why it works like that. But not a problem, this is not our main code. And then we have git checkout structured 02. If I say bundle, this is much better. And of course we started setting the height directly in the canvas in here, so that is why we are getting this particular here. Probably I'll find a better solution to this, but if I reload the page, you don't get anything here and there, and things are drawable as well the best way possible. Okay, so this particular thing is done. Let's get rid of this, and the same thing I merged to the main branch. So git checkout main and git branch. So I have 3 branches. I am on the main branch right now, and if I just simply run one dev, so here it's just the same. What am I actually gonna do right now? That so we have 2 labels, git branch. Structured, unstructured is the first level, structured is the second level. Now let's go through the third level. So git branch b hyphen b, and that will be what? More, not more features, ultimately what all we are gonna be doing, add all tools, more features 03. Let's name it this. I mean, doesn't really matter, right? So git branch hyphen b more features 03. Okay, so that is it. I'm gonna be catching up soon. I'm just simply gonna take a break for a while. After that I'll be back, and then we'll just simply start working on this particular branch. And the next goal is gonna be to first of all being able to resize the text. So as for the to-dos, these many things we have already done. resize the text. Then after resizing text, what do we have to do? Add eraser feature, and then lastly implement undo and redo. And what next apart from this particular thing? Multiple selection. And once this is done, then that is it. These are the few to-dos that we need to then of course this is the one that we have to take care of. So there are many to-dos, but these 3 to 4 ones are the top ones that we have to focus on. And once we've done that, then we can just simply start working on the UI part. I can by then consider it to be done. Then enable lock feature, add reset zoom. Okay, this add reset zoom can be even the first one that I can edit. Okay, so this is how we are gonna be just simply going on, and let's see how the things are gonna be. Bye bye, take care, see you, and we'll get going from here very soon. Take care.